What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Bitcoin Cash. Now, I'm not a fan of this as a project or, fundamentally crypto, but there are definitely going to be gains to be had here. But you'll see from the title, I'm sort of limp capping it, not that high. And I've seen a lot of people predicting sort of 5 grand, 10 grand for Bitcoin Cash, which I can't see, and I'll explain why in this video. But before I get into that, guys, if you are new to this channel, these are the first 26 coins that I spoke about on this channel. And when I did the videos about these coins, I was saying, look, I'm buying these up because I think they're quality. You can see what the prices were of all these coins when I recorded the videos. And released the videos. You can see what the highs they hit a year and 18 months on. So if you put $100 into each of them and you just sold them, that year and a half later, like I did, just $100 into each, $2,600 investment would have netted you a profit of over 123k, which is pretty good in under 18 months. Now, as I said, I sold them. They're not what I own. But if you do want to see the coins that I own right now, you can do. Just head over to copymycrypto.com. On that site, I share with all the members the coins that I own. So anytime I buy a coin, I go onto the site and I tell the members I'm buying this coin. These are the gains I think it can have, and these are the reasons why, and this is the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if they want to copy along, they can. Literally all the work is taken out of it for them. And if that sounds good to you, because fundamentally, do you have the time and the energy to put in the work? And the second thing is, did you make the gains in the last bull cycle? Did you make 20x returns on all your investments? Did you make 30x returns? Because we had 40x returns, 50x returns, 100x returns on a few coins, as well as Phantom that did 700x. And the beauty of this scenario as well is I do all the research. I do all the legwork. I dive into coins every single day. And when I find one I like, I tell the members all about it and I tell them why I'm getting in on it. And they can copy along. And if you have never gone on to copymycrypto.com, pause this video, do that now, and go read the site. Everything on there is public record, so you can verify every single thing you read, and you can decide if it's for you. So go check that out. Right, Bitcoin Cash. So look, Bitcoin Cash has had 2 bull cycles. It is in a long-term downtrend. And look, Bitcoin Cash is a fork of Bitcoin. So that was when a number of Bitcoin developers became dissatisfied with Bitcoin's scalability. So that was the idea behind Bitcoin Cash, and to be fair, and Bitcoin SV as well. So Bitcoin Cash effectively includes one thing that they've introduced, which I kind of like, is that when they also introduced Bitcoin Cash ABC, there was a miners tax distributed to Bitcoin Cash ABC lot. Now, Bitcoin Cash's developers, because they were dissatisfied with Bitcoin's development and the implementation of the segregated witness, Bitcoin Cash developers decided that SegWit is a compromise to the decentralization of the network. So they believe that the network could have increased its block size instead, in order to allow Bitcoin to grow as a currency. Together, this group formed a plan to split from the Bitcoin blockchain and create Bitcoin Cash with a larger block capacity limit of 8 megabytes. Bitcoin went ahead with their plan to implement SegWit, but the newly forked Bitcoin Cash did not. So how does it differ? So the power blocks is 1 meg versus 8. SegWit versus secure SIGs. So SegWit has transaction signatures that can be discarded from the blockchain, whereas secure SIGs means that all transaction signatures must be validated and secured on the blockchain. They also have multiple independent development teams as opposed to a single centralized development team on Bitcoin. And they also have a scaling plan, which is on-chain transactions and market-driven block size increases to sort of push the growth of Bitcoin Cash. Now, obviously, Bitcoin, these 2 networks are not interoperable, so you can't send between. And I'm not that big a fan of Bitcoin Cash. They're doing a few bits and bobs, so it's worth noting that their mainnet upgrade is today. So most notably, the Cash tokens upgrade is done today, and this should, in theory, provide some NFT use cases on the network. And that would be a nice change, obviously, because that's not right now present. So that would be a solid sort of use case for it. But fundamentally, when we actually take a look at what Bitcoin Cash is, there's not much here. There's not much here. It's a payment system, effectively. And you can check through their sort of ecosystem. You can have a look at what the world is of Bitcoin Cash, but it's pretty much limited to exchanges and wallets. It's effectively a payment system. And I don't like payment systems within crypto. I don't think that fundamentally there is enough reach for these. I don't think businesses want these. Now, I often make the argument, look, with a business, I could see a business taking on board Bitcoin as payment, potentially, Ethereum as a payment, potentially, because those coins are in a long-term uptrend and they're the two biggest. The Bitcoin Cash is in a long-term downtrend. A business needs money that's stable. What you can't have is taking payments in an asset that's heavily volatile in price and fundamentally on a long-term downtrend, which is what Bitcoin Cash is. You know, it hit heights of like $3,800 or thereabouts in its first bull cycle. In the most recent one, it ran up to about $1,500. It's a big drop-off from its first sort of peak. And obviously, the more of these that are produced, and there's 19 million of them, you know, sooner or later there'll be 21 million, but that's going to take time. The distribution is going to be slow. But there is a limit. For me, this is just a cap on what this can ever do, because I don't think any business is going to want this as a payment. I can't see many individuals wanting this as a payment for services rendered. I can't imagine that many people fundamentally want to be swapping this or even doing peer-to-peer transfers. It just doesn't make sense because its long-term downtrend is just very obvious. Now, it's great that they're doing mainnet upgrades, but their ecosystem's crap. There's nothing here. And that downtrend is just so obvious. It's so obvious. I look at it and I go, right, it's $1,500 in the last bull cycle. Previous one, it was $3,700. It's on a downtrend. I'd be looking at $1,200 max for this to be hit. And if it does hit $1,200, you know, it's about a 10x pretty much from where it is right now, which is still not bad. Put it market up at 23 billion. But that's about the highest that I think it could go. I'm not even convinced it will hit that. But if I'm going to honestly go, what can this hit? The max, I would say, would be 1,200. And honestly, it's one of those where you need the long-term daily chart and you need to mark the downtrend from peak to peak, from the first all-time high to the high that it hit in 2021. And you can see what the trend potentially will be for 2024. 1,200 maybe. I just can't. And even then, to be honest, I can't see it. But that's probably the max. Because the use cases are just so limited when you look at the comparison. Because why would you have Bitcoin Cash when you can have Bitcoin? It's honestly what it boils down to. And yeah, 10x. You know, you're not going to knock that if it does do a 10x, but there's a lot better options than Bitcoin Cash in this market. And there's a lot of coins that are not in this long-term downtrend that they're in. I'm just not a fan of it, to be honest. But what do you guys think? Do you think that we're going to see a surge in development on it? Because we're not seeing that much either. Do you think this can do more than what I'm saying? Or do you think I'm massively even overestimating it? It's only going to hit $800. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you're a returning viewer, by the way, hit the subscribe button. These videos will make you money. So by hitting the subscribe button, you're less likely to miss them. And last thing, guys, if you want to see the coins that I own right now, the ones I've been buying up while the markets have been down, go to copymycrypto.com. And if you've never actually gone onto the site, you need to see what it's about. So if you go onto the site, you can see what their members have achieved, the earnings that they've had. You can see the things I've said historically as well. Is everything on there is public record, so you can literally verify and confirm everything you read by going through this channel as well. Is where I share the coins I own with the members. So anytime I buy a coin, I go onto the site and I go, guys, I found this coin. I think it can do these gains. These are the reasons why. This is the percentage of my money I'm putting in, and they can copy along. And if you didn't make your 20x gains or 30x gains in the last bull cycle, we did. We made 40x gains, we made 50, we made 100x gains. Phantom nearly made 700x gains. And I do all the work. I deep dive the markets, I find the coins, and I tell the members. So all the work is taken out of it if they want to copy along, and they're following someone that's had those big winners. And if you didn't in the last bull cycle, go read the site now and you'll find out what you're missing out on, and you can decide if this could be for you. And there's a link in the description if you want to use that. And guys, I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.